When you tolerate disrespect, you end up disrespecting yourself. So welcome back, because in our last episode, we actually broke down the psychological anatomy of disrespect and the hidden cost it takes on your nervous system and your relationships and your success in life. We established that a man with an edge rarely absorbs a hit. He doesn't rush and react to save face. He doesn't slip into a frame of validation. And he doesn't swallow the hit like a doormat just to keep this fake sense of peace. He refuses to meet them on their level because he understands exactly where it arises from. So he's equipped and armed with wisdom. He understands how to simply anchor himself, how to hold his ground, and then he flips the mirror. And if you haven't caught part one, here's one thing that you need to know before we go further. None of the phrases that I'm about to share work solely as just a script. They work because of the frame and the mindset behind them. I've gotten myself out of my own mental prisons and a lot of deep inner conflict, and I've mentored leaders for about 15 years now. And so I've done that long enough to know that even the most rehearsed words, they'll fall flat without the right frame and the right mindset behind them. But if your mindset and your foundation is set, then we can actually translate this into theory and execution. If you want a clear step-by-step model and a development kit to help you respond to disrespect from a position of power, so you can actually handle difficult people and high-stakes moments without getting triggered or shutting down, comment Toolkit now or go to the description to grab my Own Your Voice kit for this episode. It will help you make a real impact, avoid self-doubt, and have grounded confidence in your communication. So comment or go to the description now and I'll send it straight to you. It's free. There's no catch. Now, it's important to also say that communication always has room for nuance. Your own communication style does matter, and so does context. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the exact words, the precise delivery, and the mindset to flip the mirror on hostility. This will help you with handling conflict, difficult people, and high-stakes moments without getting triggered, without shutting down, or without losing yourself. So I want you to sit upright. I want you to align your mind and your body and your energy for this process. A big part of handling disrespect and conflict is more than just psychological. It involves your whole physiology. That's why I want you to sit up. If you really want to get into a frame of inner authority, you must prepare yourself accordingly to hold it. I want to talk to you about how this is all going to work too. So number one, I'm actually going to give you a familiar situation for understanding. It's going to trigger something in your brain. Then we'll move to number two. That's where I'll give you a statement that you could use and how you can deliver it. And then three, I'll provide context for the whole situation so that you can learn how to end disrespect for yourself. So scenario number one, let's just say someone suddenly snaps at you. It's a partner shouting mid-argument or a co-worker that loses their temper in a heated meeting. In that second, everyone in the room stops and looks at you. They're waiting to see how you react. And if you get defensive, you lose. If you match their anger, then you're going to lose too. This is the ultimate test of respect. So here is how you handle an explosive or hostile person and take complete control of the room. You say something like, "I'm not comfortable with that tone. I'll step away and I'll come back where we can talk calmly." The delivery is done with absolute stillness, with a calm tone, clear eye contact. There's no sarcasm. There's also no anger. So the context behind all this is that this is confidence through pure self-possession. It is the definitive signal that you send out that says that you're safe inside yourself under intense pressure. And by setting this boundary, you also refuse to match their volatile energy. Instead, you're communicating a new standard for them, all right? And stepping away from that, it signals premium value instantly. You're leaving them to sit in heavy tension of their own behavior. Notice how there's no argument, there's no defensive explanation. You are simply a man who knows exactly what he will and he will not participate in. But crucially, what you've also done is you've left an open invitation to re-establish connection later. But it's done strictly within a different frame. That's why we say we're going to come back to this. That's the invitation. Notice how that instantly has the power to change the room's whole dynamic. That is the difference between running on survival software and operating from real presence and inner authority. So to make sure that you can handle and execute this level of self-possession under pressure, it will be incredibly helpful for you to grab the Inner Authority Builder Kit for free in the link below. This kit contains the exact training that gets you out of your head and into your most influential frame that you can possibly be in. It complements today's episode perfectly, and with the model that shows you exactly where you fall short, you can start to communicate with more depth, influence, and authority. So comment inner authority below, and I'm going to send that straight to you. But if you are a leader, if you are a founder or high performer who wants to permanently upgrade your presence, your communication, and your leadership right now, go straight to the description and apply for a private clarity call one-to-one with me. Now, they're limited, so make sure you get onto that quick. Let's move to scenario number 2. Let's say someone drops a backhanded or a passive-aggressive comment. It's the kind that people say and hope you let it slide. Here's how you do it. Just so we're clear, can you repeat what you said? I want to make sure that I'm not misinterpreting you. The delivery behind that, behind something like this, is you want to slow down your words. You want to speak firmly from your chest and keep your voice completely neutral. The context here is that, well, high value men that value themselves, they do not flinch, they do not explode, they actually get clear. What this does is holds a line, a clear mirror to the other person's behavior without introducing aggression. The most critical power of this lies in its tactical suspension of silence right after you ask it. Most people, when they're made fully conscious of what they just said, will immediately soften and rephrase. And if they don't, well, now you have every piece of data that you now need to know about exactly who you're dealing with and what they think of you. You'll also finish with this vital signal that clarity is important to your connection. Very important we finish with that. So let's go to scenario number 3. Let's just say someone makes a comment that clearly disrespects you, and maybe it's actually disguised as a joke in front of other people. I'm sure that you didn't mean to sound disrespectful when you said that. The delivery, that's in this curious, calm tone. You avoid any hint of sarcasm, any bite or defensive posturing. You are speaking from a place of absolute, unshakable confidence. You're not attacking. You're completely refusing to let the comment slide. And the context behind this, it's one of the most dignified assumptions. You are assuming good intent while making it unmistakably clear that the impact has actually landed and you have registered disrespect. And by framing it this way, you address the behavior directly without lowering yourself to it. It forces the other person to apologize and fix their delivery or explicitly admit that they intended to be malicious. Scenario number 4. Let's just say the disrespect was sharper this time. It was more deliberate. It wasn't accidental. And this actually needs to be named directly. So what you do in that situation, you use something like this. Did you mean for that to land the way it did? And is your intent to be malicious right now? It wants to be clean. It wants to be sharp and direct, completely flat. You speak with a steady cadence. You look them dead in the eye without blinking or without breaking your frame. And again, like I've said, no anger, no hesitation. The context behind that is when it does land, it's quite intense like that. We want simple, direct, assertive energy. It completely stops them in their tracks. And that instantly shifts the entire conversation from what was said to the impact of what was said. A reactive man avoids this question because he's actually terrified of the answer. He's fundamentally uncomfortable with vulnerability, which means I'm afraid of losing control. You've already lost control anyway, but I'm afraid of losing control. I'm afraid of what you're going to say and of the truth. A truly confident man asks it because he isn't. And that's exactly what real authority actually looks like. So if you haven't actually grabbed the inner authority builder and you want to respond to disrespect from a place of true power without feeling triggered and shutting down or losing yourself, you must comment inner authority below, and I'm going to send that straight to your inbox. Now we're up to scenario number 5. Let's just say someone throws this sneaky, mocking or baiting remark at you and they're expecting you to get defensive or flustered. What you can do in that situation is a bit of a different play. You can say, that's interesting. Can you explain what you mean by that? The delivery behind this is that you deliver it with a genuine, composed curiosity. Your eyebrows should be neutral, your shoulders down, and your tone is completely open. There should be zero hint of a trap in your voice. It's just pure, calm inquiry. Now, the context in this is that if you know me well, you'll know that I love to lean on curiosity. I want you to never underestimate the power of a composed curiosity, because people who disrespect you are almost always expecting a predictable reaction from you. Defensiveness, anger, or even sudden withdrawal. So when they get hit with someone who is calm, who's grounded, and is curious instead, it completely disarms their system or sends them into a different mode. That puts you into a place of control and it puts them onto the defense. You stay in control of the conversation without needing to even raise your voice. This is high value composure in action. Scenario number 6. Let's say someone insults you outright face to face on a call or in a text. Here's how I'd handle it. I don't respond well to insults, and I'm sure you don't either. If you want to have a conversation, I'm here, but only if we're talking basic respect. The delivery is steady, it's unwavering. You hold your posture, you open your shoulders, and you make direct eye contact. What I want you to do is also speak with a firm, matter-of-fact tone. There's no anger, no shaking, no hint of pleading your case towards someone. And the context behind that is that you're not demanding respect. You are definitely not begging for it. Make sure that's not the case. You're simply establishing that it's a non-negotiable condition of your presence. And this is a man teaching people how to treat him, not through raw aggression or arrogance. It's just through a clear, unwavering standard. With this exact frame, you are openly inviting a constructive way forward to connect. But if both parties agree to that standard, that's the deal there. All right, so scenario number 7, this is a good time to talk about, well, what if someone talks down to you in a condescending tone? They have eye contact, the eye roll, and they treat you as if you're lesser than them. Here's how you can handle that. If there's something that you want to say to me, please say it, but don't talk to me like I'm beneath you. The delivery behind this, it's surgical. I want you to deliver this surgically without a hint of defensiveness or emotional heat. Your voice must be smooth and level, as you just saw. It cannot sound weak. It cannot have any threat in it or any aggressive posturing. It's a pure, grounded statement of reality. Now, the context in that is that this addresses the power dynamic directly and surgically. It signals to the other person that you see exactly what game is being played. And that message registers that you are completely unperturbed by their push and you're actively leading the conversation back to equal ground. That's the invitation. And only a man with genuine inner confidence can deliver this line without it sounding like it's a weak threat, because it isn't a threat. It's actually just an invitation. A lot of this is actually about you reframing your mind around these scenarios and thinking, well, how does that fit for me? That's how I do it. I don't think threat, I think invitation. And it's strictly invited on my terms. When you use this correctly, it's a boundary that they'll never forget. You probably only have to set this once or twice with most people. Let's move into the final scenario, scenario number 8. This is a one-off. It's a pattern, someone who keeps crossing the line with you no matter what you've said, all right? So they're consistently just not respecting your boundaries. They're not listening to what you say. Here's how you handle it. I have a low tolerance for disrespect. If this keeps happening, I'll have to limit how much we interact moving forward. The delivery is that you speak to it cleanly and clearly as you physically adjust your posture, turn away, and then step away from the interaction. This is something you obviously can't see me do in a chair, but you then speak to it very cleanly, you adjust yourself physically, and then you turn away, all right? Keep your voice quiet, keep it flat, keep it absolute. There should be no anger, no hesitation, and no dramatic flare-up. The context here is that it's not a threat. You're starting to gauge that, right? It's not an ultimatum that's delivered in anger. It's a calm statement of fact from a man who is completely clear on what he will and he will not participate in. There's no drama, no punishment. It's just the quiet, high-value communication of a man who respects himself enough to protect his own focus and his energy. Now, reflecting on all these scenarios I've given you, you maybe start to see some patterns and threads. Your brain's probably thinking, well, how does that fit for me? And that's good. We want to go through our own reflections and inquiry to this. And I must say that if you do say any of this from ego, from this desperate need to win and dominate, or from a desire to prove your worth to the room, people will feel that friction instantly. That's why I also do part 1 with the mindset. These words will land completely hollow without it, and they'll often cause the exact opposite effect. These lines only carry weight when they come from a man who takes his work seriously, but himself quite lightly. A man who knows his value so completely, he doesn't need the confirmation from the room to validate it. That's the real work, right? It's never about words. It's about this deep internal state that makes the delivery of the words possible. Take your craft seriously, believe in what you offer with reckless self-belief, and build your core values and stand firmly behind them. But I want you to also hold yourself light enough that when disrespect does come, and it will, it simply cannot find a place on you to land. If this did resonate with you, and if you are serious about owning your voice, leading with real influence and authority, and building the kind of inner confidence that holds under pressure, be sure to check out what's in the description for you. If you are a business leader, if you're a founder or executive who's done running on survival software and you're ready to work with me directly, then as I said, the application and the links are below. It takes you straight to a clarity call. I've only got a limited amount on offer, and we're going to map exactly what's holding you back and how to change it. I'll see you in the next episode. Hope you enjoyed.